With great love and respect, I welcome you to this beautiful Sunday morning. We have a house full of temple here, and you in your own temple. Baba, my guru, used to say, "Oh friend, you are not what you think who you are." You are not what you think who you are. We all have our story. We all have our struggles, our victories and losses, our blessings. And we think that's who we are. Spirituality really means distancing ourselves from our story and taking our attention towards that which is always there, unchanging, absolutely whole, complete unto itself. It's because of the nature of our mind we experience many things. The very nature of our mind is to attach itself to something that is moving. That is the nature of the mind. It attaches itself to things that are moving. You're laying on your back, looking at the sky. You are lost in the vastness. All of a sudden, a little plane appears in the sky. Your mind goes to the plane. You begin to track the plane. You have totally forgotten about the sky. Sky hasn't gone anywhere. It's there. Your mind has gone with the plane. Silence is always there. Sound comes and goes. Mind goes to the sound. We have totally forgotten about the silence. We read a newspaper, react to the prints, the news, whatever. Do we ever think about that clean sheet of paper on which it's printed? It's there, but we never think about it. In the same way, there is an aspect of the self, which is the foundation actually, which is always there in its totality, in its purity, in its wholeness. Something reflects on the surface. Mind goes to what is happening on the surface, and we call it, this is our story, this is my drama, this is my struggle, this is my life. But the other half, we never think about it. So purpose of a spiritual life, a spiritual practice, is to have a little time to identify with that aspect of life which is ever pure, ever whole, unchanging. Unchanging. I'm not my body, I'm not my mind. Who am I? If you say, I'm just the body, or I'm just the mind, you know, you are not really totally defining yourself. There is something more. We are very blessed when we are able to take a little time, distancing ourselves from whatever is happening in our life and contemplating that I am more than what I think who I am. There is more to life. I'm not saying that we renounce our family and our children and our spouse and close our eyes and sit in the closet. We do that too, but we also find little time to distance ourselves from it, even for a short time. Just like a dancer who is spinning. Nobody knows, but the dancer is spotting. It is that spotting that's enabling the dancer to keep on spinning. So what is our spotting? What do we turn back to in this dance of life? Which we think is very important, which we value, we respect, we make compromises for, we make sacrifices for, to protect that in our life. Those who are dependent on us will always ask for more, which is okay, that's their right, that's their expectation, and I give in. But when it comes time to taking a little time for myself, I do not feel guilty about it. Half an hour, an hour. Every soul has come alone and leaves alone. Every soul has its own journey. On this stage of life, we are playing many roles. Mother, father, grandpa, grandma, daughter, son. We play that role. But do not forget the journey of our own soul. Even husband and wife who live 24 hours together, that's not the whole thing. Each individual should have his or her own little private time to be alone, to be by self, to contemplate on the journey of their soul. Spirituality is not a mystery. It's very simple. You don't need to know anything to be spiritual. You just need to be able to be by yourself without any gadget, without your phone, without your iPad, without your book, without your whatever. Being able to sit, close your eyes or open your eyes and be. Mind will come. What's next? I need to do more. I need to experience something. I need to see shooting stars, 1,000 points of light. I need to bliss out. No, nothing. Just being able to be in a state. Think about that. When you are not expecting for it to be any different than what is. Where do we have that moment? I will give you an example. You're just sitting outside in this nice sun comes out. Can you just close your eyes and just say, welcome that sunlight, the warmth. Be with that sensation for 5-10 seconds without thinking, oh, it's too hot, it's too cold, maybe I need sunscreen, maybe I need my glasses, maybe I need my towel. All that mind will come in. and take you away from that what is right in front of you. So we have to look at this tendency of mind that immediately wants to fix things, immediately wants to make it a little better. We'll make it better, we'll get our sunscreen, but 10 seconds will not kill me. Let me be here just for 10 seconds. Tell your mind, leave me alone. Let me just be in appreciation of what is right in front of me. This is spirituality. This is a spiritual practice in itself. You don't need to pray to anybody. Just being present to all the gifts that Divine is giving to you is the prayer. The warmth of the sun, the nurturing quality of the water, the air that we breathe. How often do we welcome that breath with gratitude? How grateful I am to be just able to breathe without hurting. I'm not hooked up to a breathing machine. My ribs are not hurting when I'm taking this breath. Just holding the thought of gratitude, once we welcome that breath, it does wonders. The most precious thing in life that we have is this breath. If somebody comes and tells you, I will give you the lottery number for the biggest bumper prize, but in exchange I will take away your breath, will you make the deal? See how precious it is? And it visits us at least 21,600 times a day. That's how many breaths we take. How many of those breaths are really infused with gratitude? How many breaths are taken with this awareness that new life force is coming in my body? Each breath holds the possibility for a whole new life. When the breath goes out, we die. When breath comes in, we come back to life. We're taking new birth with each breath. Think about that. We have the possibility to live in a new way with each breath. We may say, well, it's too short. I can't just change myself over. Well, then our yogis have said, okay, now the moon, look at the moon. After every new moon, there is a possibility to bring new things in your life. Because the light of the moon is increasing day by day. The earth is aligning itself in such a way. We are interconnected to everything that's around us. Planets, stars, your environment, trees, even things in your house. When we begin to bring this spirituality in our life, we pay attention to everything that's surrounding me. If you don't know how to pray and how to do long rituals, just start with cleaning your room, organizing things that are in your room, bringing a flower, lighting an incense, lighting a lamp. Those things are not necessary, but they help. They set the environment, they set the tone. And then I sit and just welcome the breath of gratitude. Our mind has a tendency to latch on to negativity. All the bad things that happened, bad things other did to me. If I'm living a spiritual life, instead of picking pebbles, the yogis have recommended, try to pick pearls. At the end of the day, look what happens to us. Laying in the bed, we keep thinking about all the negative things that happened. How beautiful it is when you begin to think all the good things that happened. Both happened. It's up to you which one do you pick. Tendency of the mind is to go towards negativity constantly and bringing it towards positive things, thinking about all the good things that happened. That's a good place to start. New moon was a couple of days ago, yesterday. Now today is the moonlight is increasing. And may this be a good time to remind ourselves, I am not who I think I am. I don't have to carry this story. May I align myself a little bit more towards my divinity. And that's one thing we could start with. Laying in, maybe if I have that tendency, look at how you fall asleep. If you are falling asleep worrying about things or being angry or being negative, that's what you need to shift. Think about something that you are grateful for. If you can't find anything, think about your parents who brought you into this world. You may have many resentments and complaints about them, but there are some good things there too. That's why you are here. Think about those sweet moments and let that moment extend. See what happens. The body chemistry changes. Depending on what kind of thoughts we are holding in our mind, that kind of chemicals are being secreted in our body. May we always find a way to dwell in the moments that bring sweetness. Mother's Day just passed and I'm still riding the same wave, just thinking about the time with my mother and sweetness. If there was no mother, there was a grandmother, there was father, grandfather. Somebody in my life was there for me who provided me that nurturing. And just sitting with that thought, reliving those moments is such a beautiful medicine for this world where we are so much bombarded with negativity, and if we don't have anything bad happening, then we start thinking about somebody else doing something else somewhere else. And then we get all anxious and worked up about it. Life will go on, world will go on, no matter how hard we think we have to save the world. First try to save ourselves. Then we can save the world. And paying attention to our mind, knowing the nature of our mind, and tweaking it a little bit. Sometimes just stopping it, appreciating the warmth of the sun, coolness of the water, nurturing quality of the air. If even Mother Earth, who is holding us constantly, everything that humans need comes from the earth, be it grain or diamond. everything we need. It comes from the earth, right here, and we are sitting on it. How often are we grateful for that? This little ball floating in the space, surrounded by clouds, water. And there we are, living our story. Taking our mind to this wonder sometimes makes us feel that how trifle our story is. And there is so much possibility to turn within. And actually what happens sometimes, if we have really turned within, you feel the connection. There is no separation from you and the rest. It's the mind that creates the separation. So these are little pearls I have thrown at you. Hopefully you caught some. And the whole purpose of today's talk is that the new moon has just passed. The moon is in ascendance, and the light is going to be increasing every day from today on. Think about bringing some of this little practice in your daily life, and that's the best way to honor yourself, love yourself, and respect yourself. I bow to that wholeness within you and thank you for your